right, welcome guys. So here we are. This is going to be like the first 30 days 1,000 mile review. So I just hit 30 days today. Actually, it's an official day. So I just wanted to share my thoughts on it. So aesthetic wise, not much. I get the tint, window visors, and then the wide angle mirrors. Those are all kind of like functional in a way, which is also aesthetic, but it's great. Honestly though, the first 30 days has been amazing, aside from this check engine light I've had, but it's been gone since, but we'll talk about that later. But overall, this is how the car sits. The tires, I want to talk about the wheels and tires. This gets brake dust like crazy. So I did ceramic coat the wheels just to help, you know, for times when I can't get to the brake dust right away. It'll help give it some protection. But they brake very well. Like, it's the best brakes that I've personally experienced, so that works great. The height, you know, I actually like it. I don't mind. Normally I like about a 1-inch drop, but this height has been pretty good. If I do get lowering springs, I'm looking at the Pro Kit or Swift. But other than that, man, I really do like the stance. So, and the car itself looks awesome. I did the break-in oil change around 650-ish miles, but the car itself has been great. And, you know, overall, like exterior-wise, the only thing I really want right now is either the Saber Wing or the Circuit Edition one. I really like that spoiler. But other than that, let's go for a drive and just talk about more of the car, because everything else is great. So let's get in the car and go for a drive. Suba, uba. All right, so here we are, guys. The first 1,000 miles. I was over 1,100 right now at the time of driving, but yeah, this is the first official 30 days, and you know, the car has been broken in, and just my thoughts and impressions on the first 1,000, and it's been awesome. Aside from that check engine light from the factory at 130 miles, I don't know what caused it, and I do have a thread on the GR Corolla forums and this quick video here if you want to see when I first got it, kind of explaining everything. But follow the forums. I'm updating that more than anything else until I find out what's going on. But so far, I think I may have fixed it thanks to this Reddit user who told me to check, you know, the rear tabs on the airbox. So I did check that, and I did notice, you know, that it wasn't sealed, but it may have come off when I, you know, took out the air filter to look at it, but I don't know for sure. But all I can say is for right now, you know, the car has been driving fine, luckily. And on top of that, you know, the dealer, when I took it into the dealer, they said, let's try to order you a new ECM and then see if that fixed it as per Toyota manual. So apparently there was a similar issue for the 23 and 24 models, and it involved like an ECU flash. So there's nothing for the 2025s. So I don't know what's going on with that. So we'll see. But for now, I've been lucky so far. But as soon as anything comes up, I'm going to update that forum thread, and just to let everyone know, just for, you know, for science, I guess. So that's all on that P2C90 code. Next thing I want to talk about is Android Auto. So I got a Razor, you know, 2024 Razor Ultra, and I got this phone mainly because I want to use this Clicks case that's coming out. I can't wait to get that because I love BlackBerry. But anyways, I then switched to Android. I've been an iPhone user for a long time. I have no issues with iPhone. I love it. It always works great. And I did use the Toyota app when I had my 2020 Corolla CVT, and that worked great. Now, one thing with this I've noticed, I don't know if it's because of the Razor itself, but I am on Android 15, but the Toyota app, I've noticed there are times where it says, you know, I get this error right here, and it says you have to, you know, sorry, just experiencing downtime. I was like, oh, okay, it must be down for everybody. And then I realized, you know, I was like, you know what, let me just try to power cycle the phone. Doesn't do anything, same error. So I would uninstall the app completely and then re-sign in. Everything works fine, no error. And this happened about 5 times already so far. I've been documenting every time I had to. The only way to resolve it is to uninstall the app and reinstall it. That's pretty annoying. On top of that is the Android connection. It's got wireless and wire. I prefer wired, but there are times where it just doesn't know how to connect. Sometimes it does it wirelessly, sometimes it does wired. And even if I turn off like the, if I remove the phone because I don't want it the wirelessly to connect, it still automatically adds itself. So I don't know, it's just kind of a weird thing, but as long as it works, I guess I'm fine with it. So that's all. But I just wanted to explain that part of it as far as interface. But everything else, I mean, like I said, it works good. The screen is a dramatic difference from the 2020 Corolla I had. It just seems like it's more premium, better resolution. I'm not sure how else to explain it, but I did notice it is a very nice display screen. Here we go. Alrighty. So yeah, it's kind of raining today, which is fine. I don't mind. I actually enjoy rain. Rain makes me happy as opposed to other people probably makes them sad. And that probably just brings me joy in a way. I was like, why so sad? It's nice. Rain is lovely. But yeah, so talking about the car has been driving solid. These Michelin tires, these Pilot Sport 4s, this is the first time I've had performance tire come on a car. I'm not a big fan of summer tires coming on vehicles from the factory. I just don't understand, because it kind of puts people in danger in a way if you think about it, because if they're driving in cold climates, especially if it's a rear wheel drive car, just take a GRD6 for example, that's that car comes with factory tires. Whether you get the premium or the regular, you either get Primacy HPs or you get the Pilot Sport 4s. And when it's cold, and you don't know what you're doing rear wheel drive, you're going to come out of a corner flooring it and not knowing what oversteer is. And then if you do, you're going to find out the hard way and wreck your car. And luckily this is all-wheel drive, but still, grip is the number one important thing. And so I don't know what these tires are like in the cold, and I don't plan to find out. I'm actually going to pick up a set of DWS 06 Pluses again. And I was looking at other all-season tires, like the Cross Climate 2s and other options like the Michelin. I think they also have another all-season, like Pilot Sport all-season 4. But the price versus what I'm getting with the DWS 06 Plus is hard to beat. It is very hard to beat. I'm looking at $950 for a set of 4, where the other tires are $1,100, $1,200, $1,300, brand new. So that alone right there, the bang for the buck, that's important, man. And so that's why I'm going with the DWS 06 Plus, because it's been tried and true. I've used it on the track. I've used it during light snow and winter, and it's just perfect for my needs and driving in, all seasons. And, like I said, the hot will get 90 degrees in summer, and then winter will get those 20 degrees plus throughout the winter. Whether snow or not, it does get cold. So knowing I can rely on that tire, is important. And I'm not going to trust these, summer tires in the winter, or, during that winter season. So aside from tires, now suspension, this car is pretty stiff. It does, you do feel the bumps pretty good. And I'm fine with it. It's I actually enjoy it. It's similar to the GR86. The GR86 had a pretty stiff ride from the factory as well. And I like it. The steering response good. It does have body roll, but honestly, I really do. I like the ride, So we'll say so. But if you like softer ride, if you're coming from a luxury car like a Lexus or something, don't expect to be. Don't expect a nice smooth ride. Another thing I do want to talk about is actually the doors. So I don't know what it is. I guess because I've had older cars before, but these doors feel nice and solid when you open and close it. When you open it, it doesn't automatically keep shutting on you. How the GR86 did that for a while, but for some reason, I don't know if it had anything to do with it, when I installed the door stabilizers, it stopped kind of flinging around. But these doors are solid. If I open it at a certain angle, it stays there and it remains. It doesn't close, or swing or fling. So that was just a strange thing, but it feels solid. So shout out to that. So checking the oil on this car, you do have to wait about 10 minutes after you've been driving it to check the actual, the most accurate, oil levels. So if you're checking when it's cold, it's not going to be accurate. You have to check it after it's pretty much warm and then cool down and drain. Well, not cool down, but after you stop driving and it drains completely into the engine, then you check it. So that's the way to get the most accurate reading. And luckily, with the Fumoto Valve, if you notice like, oh crap, I'm overfilled, you can easily drop the panel, flip the lever, drain, like a half, 8 ounces at a time or whatever, and then keep checking it, and then you're like, oh, okay, nice. That's the convenience of that oil valve. So I'm always a big fan of it, and I know it's a mixed bag for some people, because since it goes up a little deeper, you're gonna have more like oil residue since it kind of comes up, more. So that's the trade-off, versus that. And as long as you're aware of the trade-off, you can decide if that's for you or not. Now let's talk about the transmission. So like the manual mode, I've noticed a couple times when I put it in manual that the car will sometimes upshift on its own. So, and like the numbers will stay the same. So I know it's shifting, but the number will stay the same. So I'm just like, what's going on here? So I don't know. I'm trying to figure out why it does that, but obviously it's not a deal breaker, but it's kind of unexpected, and I don't like stuff that happens when I don't expect it. So hopefully I can, mess around with it more and see if I can actually find out what's triggering it to shift early while I'm in manual mode. And actually you can see in this video clip here during my break-in drive, I was doing like a 0 to 60 pull as I was accelerating and flooring it. Before I shifted a second, the car already shifted a second. So by the time I hit the paddle shifter, it went right into third. So something like that, that was just strange. And I don't know if it's because I have this rev limit set to 6. So I may try to turn that off and then see if it makes a difference at all. But I'm not sure. But anyways, that's kind of what I have so far. But other than that, man, the transmission drives great. And I'm pretty sure this sport gauge on here in the bottom, it shows you the transmission temp, which is actually pretty awesome. So you can kind of monitor. I love these data points, man. These are like the key data points that Toyota gives you to what you need to monitor your car. Coolant, oil temp, oil pressure, and your transmission temp. It just feels good to be back in just a full-on like pure Toyota vehicle, man. Like a performance pure Toyota vehicle feels so good, man. And it's important to me. That's why I talk about it so much, because I just love that aspect of it, And even though my experience with this Toyota CVT was not the greatest, it is what it is, Like I did what I could. The car was stock, and I was just using it the way it's intended. I'm just using accelerator. But yeah, so other than that, yeah, transmission has been solid. I'm very impressed with it. But then again, like I said, I'm not a hard person to impress, so I'm just grateful. I'm just one of those. I'm just grateful for the little things. I appreciate the little things. And, I'm just happy to be able to wake up in the morning and have my health. I mean, even though I may not look healthy, I feel healthy, I'm happy. But it's just, you just have to be grateful, man. And then I'm just glad I'm able to afford something like this, get something like this, and just go from there. Obviously, getting a house is just impossible for what I make. And that's kind of like what sort of led to this where I'm at now, and I don't regret it, and then maybe who knows, one day I will, but for now, at least I can say I got my dream car before I die. So but anyways, that's about all I have, honestly. I mean, like I said, the car is very basic, very bare bones. It's core edition, that everything has been solid, and that's it, so hope you guys enjoy, hope you're doing well. If there's anything else that comes up or catastrophic, I'll definitely, report it. But for now, I love the car so much, the way it looks, the way it drives, the DIY maintenance. So I can't wait to, play around more with this car. But honestly, like the future plans with this, the powertrain is going to be completely stock, because I don't want to mess anything that could void the warranty, especially powertrain wise. And I did get the extended warranty, so that's going to be stock. But if I do anything at all, it's going to be just suspension stuff and aesthetic mods, and that's it. But as far as aesthetic goes, like I said, the only thing I really want is either Circuit Edition or Sabre Designs Wing. Those are the only two that I've seen that I've liked so far. And that's planned for, next year And then that's really it. Man, the car just looks so good from the factory. I'm just so glad that they made it like look very good from the factory, so I don't have to do much at all, really. Just, if you want to, lower it, get some wheels if you want, and then that's it, you're done. So, man, shout out to Toyota. But yeah, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you guys on the next video. See you.